Hi everyone. So I just have a quick video to share with you. It's another reloading video, I know, but this one I think is really worth the few minutes that it'll take to do it. No paper involved. It's really fast. It's easy. It's really made for salt shooting, so if you want to do any of the specialty loads, the version 4 reloading video is still the way to go. So I got the idea when I was doing the SIG MCX video. You can check that out right here. And I figured we could get a good fast load on the shredder as well.
It was a big one. I know we got him. Oh, there he is. Whew. That was quite a ways.
Alright, so here's the idea that I had gotten from doing the SIG MCX, and that was to use those pellet plugs so we could get a real fast fill while blocking it up to keep the salt and the slurry from seeping through. And so that way we can make sure to keep a nice smooth and clean surface on the backside here. So one of the ideas that I had was to take the pellets, especially the wad cutter style here, and just sacrifice one of our shredder cartridges. And what I did was I just super glued these in so that we could get a little protrusion that would stick right in. We could clip these two together. Now when we fill the chamber with the salt, we can add just a drop of water in there, creating that slurry, just letting it dry so that we don't have to worry about all the paper cutting. Now this is only going to work with the salt shooting, so if you wanted to do any of the other alternative loads like we did in that video, you'll still need to use the paper. A little salt and cornstarch will work. When you add the water, it's going to sink down a little bit, so that'll make a nice smooth surface. You don't have to worry about it rubbing off. I don't worry about the salt in the ratchet or anything. Once it's all dry, I just use a little paintbrush and we'll just clean that out. So all I do is I just take a little medicine dropper and I just drop a drop in each chamber. And you can see one here. I've actually fired one through here and I haven't cleaned it, so you can see how actually nice and clean it is. You just have it, you can see how the salt settles into the chamber, so it's nice and clean. It's not going to scrape off on the inside of your Vigilante or your shredder. Now here's one I've already loaded here. You can see how it keeps it from going flush. Some of the original comments for the salt slurry were to put it on a piece of damp paper towel or anything, which it all works, but I found that when I laid it on a flat surface, I would still get a little bulging on the bottom, and it made for a little bit more messy use when using it in the Vigilante or the shredder. So I find that putting the plug in, we get no residue in the guns after shooting. So hopefully this will be a decent alternative fast load for you guys.
All right, so we're just going to do a couple shots with the shredder and the Vigilante, both with the loaded cartridges, just the salt. See how they shoot. Should shoot fine in both. I got a couple shots on some flies as well, but again, just a quick, easy load. See if it works well. Serves its purpose. Let's give it a couple shots here. Shoot some of my very artistic flies here. I'll give it a couple shots with that. So far it's working pretty good, just as pretty similar to the results we were getting with the factory loads. The Vigilante seems to be shooting slightly lower than my point of aim at the different sites, but it's still hitting onto the fly targets. What I notice is that the Vigilante is also leaving a bigger hole with this type of load, which makes me think that the shredder, that plastic divider that we have in the barrel there, is breaking up the loads while the Vigilante is shooting them more as a solid load, getting that. So that's interesting. So that's something to say for all those people asking about taking the divider out of the Vigilante. Here's one where we can really see a difference between the two. I thought that turned out really well. Those one of the things I like about shooting those is they come out really clean. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, once you fire them, very little residue. You can toss it in water for a couple seconds, rinse it off, and it's done. Again, the loaded cartridges, really clean. I think I had some pictures up of those earlier on there for you. And if you have the spares, you can do up several of these guys with your pellets. Get 2, 3, 4 going at a time. You can stack up a bunch of loads for when you're ready to go out there and blow through a CO2 cartridge. I think also this one demonstrated some of the real difference side by side with the shredder, that plastic bar in the barrel versus the non-plastic bar in the Vigilante. I've had a lot of people ask me to cut that out. I haven't done it yet, maybe sometime in the future, but I like comparing the stock shredder against the open barrel on the Vigilante. At one of these points, if I ever get around to getting another shredder so I can keep one stock, I'll probably take it out. But for now, I'm still going to leave it in. Gotten a lot of feedback from you who have taken it out and said, I think pretty similar to what we've seen in this video, that you get you're noticing a pretty hard hit, especially with your alternative loads. So stay tuned, hit subscribe. I have another video coming out soon, hopefully, that'll have some garden-friendly alternatives for those of you who don't want to be shooting salt into your plants all day. And then we also have a interview with Tony Ledvina from Salt SWAT, the owner and manufacturer. So it's a lot of fun. I hope you guys tune in for that, and I will hopefully have something up for you soon. So remember, hit subscribe, like, appreciate all your comments. Keep them coming. Thanks.